are you keeping your stats? If not, then you are missing out. Now, Piers, we're fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with a lot of golfers.
We are.
And we often ask, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And what do we hear?
Do you know what, Andy? I mean, a lot of golfers, they just don't know. I mean, it's quite crazy, really. You think, well, you should know your strengths and your weaknesses, but it's easy to see how it could slip, but they just really don't know.
No, and I think that they may have a feeling, but feelings are often different to reality. And what we always say is, look, why guess when you can measure? And I think if you're regularly recording your stats, at least then you're going to be armed with the information that really isn't guessing, Piers. You're going to go, okay, well, I'm weak at this area. I understand now what I need to work on.
Yeah. And that's the important with the app that we've got here, the 18 Birdies app, because when you regularly put in your stats, it gives you a really clear picture. So, for instance, if we've got someone who's got their stats for 10 rounds, we don't need to walk around a golf course with them. We can actually figure out what they need to be better at. So that's what we're going to do here now. We're going to talk about how using the stats so we can really pinpoint what are your weak areas. So, for example, we're looking at fairways hit.
Hi everyone, I'm Bagadon at StockMarketCaddy.com. We are a mentoring site at Stock Market Caddy. Our members are trying to develop a trading game and further their trading game to be successful and to have a successful business. We're trying to help them with the tools, the insight, so that they are building on success. A big part of trading, and we stress this with all of our members, is keeping good detailed records. And the reason for that is, as the two earlier gentlemen did as they were relating their experiences with the stats in a golf game, and we do the same here, but it would be almost with any endeavor, almost any sport, almost any business. If you don't know exactly and precisely what it is you're doing each and every day, it's going to be very hard to know your strengths and your weaknesses and where you might need to make adjustments. You might actually be doing something very well, but if you don't have the records to go back and look, you may not know. You may miss it. It's so important. Nobody can help you. You cannot help yourself, and nobody can help you. I certainly can't help you if we don't know or can't see your trading record. And for that, we do provide some tools, and please stay with this video because we're providing more. We're added something more than just the scorecard, but it starts with a scorecard. And in the scorecard, it's very simple. The trader writes down the strategy. In this instance, this trader, new to Stock Market Caddy, just a few weeks, very nice gentleman from Hungary, speaks very good English as his second language, does not have all of the tools that we have here in the States with TradeStation, but does have TradeStation, but doesn't have all of the tools. And this was one of his first weeks, and he was using as a strategy, he was eyeing, for the most part, the swing machine. And he wrote down the interval. He was a 1-minute trade in the direction of the 5-minute. He was trading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 markets, as much as he could during the course of the week. And he has, a delay in time of some, not a delay in time, but a time lag, a jet lag of, maybe 6 to 7 hours time difference. So he has to trade our markets as best he can while still, keeping his priorities with a family. Very successful gentleman with a young family and a very successful business. These were his first trades. Now, he had 50 trades, and this was his net. This was his gross profit and his total loss. This was his profit factor. But from just doing this, he learned something, and let me show you. He then, those were all of his trades. But then what he did was he went back. He kept 2 scorecards. A scorecard that recorded all of his trades, and then a scorecard that recorded just the trades during the normal session hours, where the most volume and the most volatility would presumably be. So it wasn't 50 trades, it was 21 trades. And look what he noticed. His profit went from 1,600, which was very decent for a week, to almost 4,000. His profit factor, he has gross profit of 4,800 divided by his total loss. A profit factor, this shouldn't be in parentheses, we got to change that, that's our fault, not his, would be 5.39, meaning he's making $5.39 for every dollar he lost. Tremendous insight. Let me show you his next week. So in his second, I think it was the next second week, his trading scorecard had 26 trades, $3,675, and a profit factor of 2.44. Now, if you don't know what a profit factor is, that could be an issue in and of itself. You might think of it as a handicap. If you have a profit factor that's over 3, you're playing very, very well. But even when you're playing well, it's a good idea to record your stats. The golfer, he wants to know how many fairways does he hit in regulation. How many greens does he hit in regulation? How many putts does he make? How many sand saves? These are key metrics to his game, so that over a period of tournaments, he'll know what he's doing well and where he might need some improvement. And his coach or his mentor might also be in a better position to help that person. This is a big, big difference between the guy or girl who just picks up their clubs, maybe gets a lesson to go play around the golf, at the company outing and then hang them up in the garage. Or the person who plays, a little bit on the weekend here or there. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with coming into the market, playing a few option trades when you have a little bit of time and, and calling it a day. But if you want to golf for a living, if you want to run a business for your primary income, you're going to have to do some data discovery. You're going to have to first record the data, the important data, and then develop the metrics so you know where your strengths and where your weaknesses are. To that end, we're going to add to our scorecard what we call our Stock Market Caddy trading metrics. Now, don't bemoan the fact if you haven't been doing this. Don't bemoan that fact. Now is a great time to start. And I think it's a good idea to do so. And there are times that even myself get kind of caught up, get a little bit behind, and maybe don't do it. One of the metrics, we're all human, but one of the metrics that is really important in trading is a run-up. I had a trade today that I had a run-up, meaning I had profits of $750, and I lost $500. And I have my reasons for why I did that. Doesn't much matter. I need to record that on my metric that I had a run-up of $750 and then I lost $500. Maybe my trading was fine. Maybe the strategy was fine. I just didn't execute on the stop or on the profit target. Maybe the stops are too close. Maybe the profit targets are too close or not wide enough. How much time do you spend in the trade and so forth? So hopefully, if this makes sense to you, stay with us because we're about to introduce you to the Stock Market Caddy trading metrics. Our members are going to get this all at no cost, whether they're an annual member or a monthly member. And if you're seeing this and you want a copy, feel free to send us an email and we're happy to send you one at no cost. So let us show you our trading metrics that we think are important. You may have some additional ones that you want to add, and that is fine. Now, our members are going to get this automatically. And if you are seeing this video as a passing YouTube or stock Twitter and you'd like a copy of it, by all means, send us an email and we'll send it to you. It's not that sophisticated. But for everybody, this is just an idea. These are some of the metrics that are important to me. You may have other metrics and you may have other thoughts about how you want to organize yourself. But let me give you a for instance. If you are running a particular strategy, maybe you want to write that strategy down. Maybe make a note over here. What type of chart were you looking at? What was the interval? If maybe it wasn't a strategy, maybe you were using the swing machine. You might want to write that down in the interval. And were you matching it with the 5-minute, or just as you saw our earlier student had noted? Or maybe it's just a total eyeball off of a particular chart. And maybe you don't want to keep the trades necessarily all mixed together. Maybe you want to organize the trades for one particular market, the ES, let's say, or gold. Maybe you want to organize your trade data based on your eyeballs, put all the eyeballs together, all the strategies to, one particular strategy, organize it that way. Whatever metric mix that is going to give you the insight for you to be able to make adjustments, mid-course adjustments. And that's what this is about. So if there are additional metrics that are important to you, by all means. So I mentioned my trade earlier today. I was using the swing machine. I was using the 1 and 5 minute. I had one trade. I was short. I would record the entry time, the exit time, the total time in the trade. Was in that trade for much longer than I had thought. I was in that trade for probably an hour and a half. My run up, 750. My run down, minus 500. My net, minus 500. Notes to self, tried to stretch a $750 winner to a $2,000 winner. And I got caught off base. Maybe at the end of the week, out of a dozen trades, I have 3 or 4 of those. Maybe next week, I don't want to get caught off base. This is the idea. In golf, there is currently a golfer, his name is DeChambeau. I forget his first name. He was a physics major. He measures everything. The number of rotations to the ball, and the angle of attack, and the length of his clubs. He's a physics major. It works for him. He's a very, very good golfer. But not all the golfers do that. DJ, Dustin Johnson, I don't know what kind of data he keeps. He may be just, gifted. If you are a gifted trader, all the power to you. If you are getting it done and keeping your score, but even Dustin Johnson keeps score, and you have a positive profit factor and you're getting it done, again, all the power to you. But if you're not, and you're beginning to struggle, you might want to start keeping your trade metrics, taking that little extra time. So at the end of your day, the end of a week, the end of the month, you can see empirically what worked and what did not, so that you can make adjustments. If this is data that you don't mind sharing with me, if you're a member, or maybe you have another mentor, I think it would be very, very helpful for them to be able to see that. And you can still maintain, some privacy on the dollars if you saw fit. In any case, we're going to wrap this up, but it's a business for us. We're not a weekend warrior here. Trading is our livelihood. It's a business. And for our members, we try to set them up for success. No matter your business, whether it be golf as a business or some other store, manufacturing company, whatever it may be, or your primary, employer, you want to run yourself as a business. I was very, very fortunate as a very young person in my early 20s. I went to work for a company called Johnson & Johnson. They have a phrase when Johnson & Johnson buys a company that they Johnsonize it. They measured everything we did all of our time as salespeople, performance-wise, in surgery, all the metrics. They had something called a cube. And we had to look at it, and it was reported on nightly, measured. They had something called maximum use of sales time, was a must, M-U-S-T. We had to be very, very organized. We were well compensated, but they didn't want us wasting time. I don't think you want to waste yours either. When it comes to trading, none of us do. We don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste our money. If I can help, and again, for those members, if you haven't been keeping track, not a problem. Please don't refrain from contacting me, though. I still want to be here for our members to help you brainstorm and think through making some course corrections as best we can. Of course, down the road, if we have some of this data, it'd be more helpful. Best of luck, everybody, and good night.